Do we have sound now? Do we have sound now on Facebook? And I was really good too, you guys. That was really good information. I'm just going to wait just 1 second. Good morning. It works on Insta. Yay, you have sound. Yay, Joan says I have sound. Donna says I have sound. Sherry says I have sound. Everybody's here. Cindy says I have. Oh, the whole world is here, you guys. The whole world is here. Oh my gosh, Magda. Okay, we're going to start over. Oh, man. And that's the one that goes on my YouTube too. Shnikey. Shnikey all. I'm so glad you guys have on Insta. So if you want to see the beginning part, go to Insta. No, but basically what I was conveying, girls. First of all, grab your cup of coffee. Let me know if you're on the replay. I always like to know when people are on the replay. Good morning, Luana. Good to see you. Good to see you. I was really talking about how, even in my whole upbringing of, kind of like all of the diabetes in my family, et cetera. But when I got to my 50s, I was just so undisciplined and I never really could make the connection as to how to make the changes that I wanted to make. And I just really do assume that there are more people that are like me that are not like me. And so if I can have things in my life that fix a problem, then I want to understand that, because then when I make the shift in my food, when I make the shift, Carrie says I'm frozen. That's probably a personal thing. I have a feeling because my Wi-Fi looks really strong. When I make a shift on something, then I don't feel like I am depriving myself. I'm in restriction land. I'm punishing myself. And so today, that's a big piece of what I want to do. I want to take you into Dr. Pompa's information on the connection between toxins and diabetes. Because again, I understand that this can feel overwhelming. And I know that we get tired of every time we turn around. Literally every time we turn around, something else is bad for us. Every time we turn around, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, right? And it gets very like, hold on, I'm going to turn my thing there. It gets very overwhelming. And maybe we start to feel really discouraged. And so let's talk about this whole thing with Dr. Pompa. Originally what happened was, I was saying that last weekend, because here I am, I'm a brand ambassador, right? And I talk about what helped me to turn back around my insulin resistance and lose 3 sizes in my 50s, because that is the connection. Insulin resistance is, in my opinion, the #1 connection as to why you can't burn 1 pound of fat. And you're like, what's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you. You just don't have the proper lens yet. Nobody gave you the proper lens. They're giving you lenses that are point systems and programs that have a lot of prepackaged food and all of these things, and they're not hitting the nail on the head. And you can feel it. You can tell it. And I can't tell you how many people I'm able to coach now that are my clients that are like, I've been on this program for a year or 2 years or whatever, and literally nothing is changing. Well, I would never want you to do that. I would want to find out what you're not tweaking well, like what we aren't figuring out yet, right? Because you have to know your pieces. Well, today is a piece that I hope it doesn't make you leave feeling overwhelmed. It's frozen to you too. Instagram. I don't know. Hi, Carrie. Is it okay now? Good morning, Patty, sweet lady. I'm back on Facebook. My sound wasn't on. It was like a weird thing, the way that it happened. Nope. Sherry, I think I'm good. I think I'm good according to my mic on the side. I can see it, my green light on. So I'm going to dive into this and let's just see what we can figure out. I'm just going to have to edit my video. No big deal. Okay, so basically, sometimes you feel like have you ever, like, you walk into your doctor's office and you're thinking like, why doesn't anybody ever give me a straight answer? Why don't I get clear answers? And why is everything just a script? And I know that we all feel that way, like there's an answer for everything through a script. And it's very, very frustrating to us, and you're told that your labs are fine and that you just eat less, move more, and that whole thing. And we've talked about that a lot, but deep down, that something bigger is going on. You're tired, you're craving sugar, maybe your belly fat won't budge. And now the word pre-diabetes is getting tossed around and you're like, what the heck is going on? Like everything has been fine. They keep telling me everything is fine, right? And then here's the kicker, no one has mentioned, and one of the biggest root causes is actually toxins. And so what I was talking about was, as a group of business owners, as brand ambassadors, we got together the last weekend for leadership. And not everybody has the same niche that I do, right? In our health and wellness space. I am insulin resistance, and other people are doing other things. We have, I was talking with a doctor of physical therapy, and so she's more hormones. Then there was a family practitioner that was there, and obviously, you know, she talks to people from a different perspective, being an actual like MD, right? And but we were talking about how, you know, there's the frustration that we all hear from women is that we're not getting these answers as we are coming forward and talking about like, well, this was my experience, and somebody else is like, well, that's me, and they want to connect and try to understand, you know, why we're not getting these answers, right? So they might not tell you that toxins from plastics and pesticides, mold, and even old fillings in your teeth, that's a whole nother like rabbit hole, right? They get lodged in your cells. So this is a cellular conversation. This is a hormonal conversation. This is not accounting points. I'm sorry, it's just not. That program was not, and if it worked for you, then I'm not here to try to break anything that worked for you. Like, praise the Lord, that's great. You just, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if something is not working for you, it's most likely because that program was never designed for somebody who was insulin resistant. And they might not be talking to you from a cellular perspective. So think of your cells like little houses. Insulin is the key that's supposed to open up the door and let the sugar inside for energy. But when toxins inflame and damage those cell doors, insulin can't unlock them anymore. So insulin is supposed to be a key, and it can't do its job if your cells have been damaged, okay? So the one lady that was with me this last weekend, she said, look up some of Dr. Pompa's information. And so this is where this is coming from. And of course, I've heard of Dr. Pompa. And I was looking at his discussion about how toxins are actually a very large cause of diabetes. This is crazy, right? So it's not all just about sugar, and it's not all just about carbs, and this is a layered conversation. And we know this because our bodies are having such a hard time. This is why I very much focus on liver, 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 because your liver is your detoxifying organ. And if your liver is sluggish, you'll never burn a pound of fat. If your insulin is high, you'll never burn a pound of fat. Like, you just can't, you're not in fat burning state mode. Like, you have to, your switch is turned off, right? But that's why I want to talk root cause all the time with you guys, because if I can get you to work on, like when we start talking about, you know, supplementation and stuff, root cause, root cause, root cause, because then you're going to get your body to actually perform. So I feel like this is such an excellent tie-in to everything that we've been talking about. When speaking of hormones, does the estrogen patch affect being insulin resistant? Jody, I don't think that would be like, do you mean negatively? That's not my wheelhouse. So estrogen patches would not be my wheelhouse. However, if somebody has been deemed, like if you've had hormone panels and you know that you're low in something, by helping that rise is not a negative thing. That's a good thing, right? So, you know, I think that the conversation inside of that community or thought process would be synthetic or bioidentical, you know, natural, et cetera. And so that's a really big world out there. I sounded Canadian there for a second. I am from Minnesota. I'm pretty close. So I don't know if that answers that for you, but kind of gives you just a little bit about maybe where I'm coming from on that. But so your pancreas keeps screaming. Your pancreas is screaming, make more insulin, make more insulin. And over time, your body gets resistant. This is the whole conversation with insulin resistance. That's what it is. And yes, it's a precursor to diabetes, but most doctors don't bring this up because traditional medicine is trained to treat symptoms only, not dig for root causes. But if toxins are gumming up your cells, gumming up your cells. No diet or treadmill can outwork that. So it's time. It is time to go inside and go deeper than you've gone before. Don't live on the surface levels of, I'm just going to like count my points. I've got all of my prepackaged food laid out for the day. Okay. So hold on. I want to see what I'm missing. Let's see what I'm missing. My connection is not good again on Facebook. This one might just not have to get saved on my stuff. Doggone it. Stinky. If you can hear me, you can go over to Instagram or TikTok. And I'm the same name everywhere. Isn't that sad though? So I'm going to put Insta on there. Instagram or TikTok. Technology. Telling ya. There, I'll put that in the comments. There we go. Ah. Yep. Oh, sorry. So sorry. Okay, but I'm going to keep going because I want to make sure that I deliver exactly what you guys need, okay? So this is why then you're eating clean, but your blood sugar is still high. You try to lose weight, but your belly fat clings no matter what. You wake up at 2 a.m. and you are wide awake. Your brain is buzzing. You wonder if it's stress, but it's your liver and your insulin, and they are out of sync. Your insulin and your liver, they're out of sync. You leave the doctor with another prescription, but no explanation. And you're like, literally, like, I just don't want to do this anymore, right? Well, here's the good news. So the good news is that you don't have to stay stuck here. When you start reducing toxins and supporting your body at the cellular level, those cell doors can open again. This is not a diagnosis that keeps you like in the land of not functioning forever. You can get your body was created to heal. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body was created to heal. And if you know that and understand that, then you're like, okay, well, I'll work with my body to produce the result. So this is, you know, hold on. I want to make sure. I think somebody said something. You can hear me very well, Megda. That's amazing. You've been told you have a fatty liver. How can you reverse that? Shirley, you know what? This is so interesting. And in fact, Megda, who's on here, I will share the exact way that I teach people, and you can decide if it resonates with you. And she actually had her fatty liver on an MRI go from bad to mild over the last year. And I love it when you guys send me lab reports and tests and all of the things, because listen, we are in this together. We're in this together. We might not be able to fix everything, but I'm going to tell you something. As we sat around this weekend, a group of women, we were actually just getting together. It was a leadership. So we were getting together for leadership mindset, whatever. And the girls got around, and as we were chatting here, we all navigated and gravitated to this conversation. Not this specific, just toxins, just this overall conversation of how we feel and how women feel dismissed and all of these things. And I'm not going to go into it all. And do you know who was the most interested in this conversation? The MD. Because she's a brand ambassador, just like I am. She was the one that was most, she said, this is very eye-opening for me to hear what you guys are hearing when you go to the doctor's office, because she wants to be different. And do you know that she is now going on and getting her functional? Because she understands that she was only given 1 hour of nutrition in med school. 1 hour. One. Can you even imagine? And so she's very interested in listening to us. We're just the people, right? We're just the people that go to the appointments. And she's like, this is very helpful, right? So I'm just telling you, like, very, very, okay, yeah. That sounds good, Carrie. Very helpful. So when it comes to things like this, And when I talk to you guys about like how you can best help your liver, like, you can do simple things. You can do things like, adding lemon to your water and making sure that you can always eat greens and things like that. And I'll kind of carry good. I'm so glad. I'll get to that because I do have a greens. Well, it's actually a primer that has greens in it. But you can do things, but you can also then eliminate things from your life. And things like don't ever microwave in plastic again. Just don't do it. That is a simple thing to never do. How simple is it to go out and buy some glass Pyrex if you're going to keep microwaving? How simple is that? Go to the Goodwill. You can get Pyrex everywhere, Corningware, whatever. Like, don't ever, these are things that are so easy to never do again. Don't ever go, in my opinion, to Bath and Body Works and put that lotion all over your body. Don't stop, just stop. There's so many easier answers than that. Like, that's all, it's horrific. And your skin is like your largest organ. And that's why they're called, those chemicals, they're called obesogens, because they get into your body and they are literally making us fat. You can take every single Glade plugin and Airwick plugin, take them out of your walls. I know that sounds maybe, I don't know even what, like to some people, but it's so much easier. Like, find yourself a Young Living consultant, a doTERRA consultant. Find somebody who can tell you how to like diffuse oils in your home, or put a pot on your stove and take some orange peels and throw them in there with some cloves and cinnamon. Make your house smell good a different way. But those are simple things that we can change like immediately, that we don't have to think about. I mean, a higher level of changing would be, I have a water filtration system that I've used for over a decade. I can't even go into the whole water conversation because that's just beyond. The microplastics in our water and in our air, I'm like, what's happening right now? What do you mean? And that's where we start to feel a little overwhelmed, but you can change those things out. Water filtration, I have an air filtration in my home, a portable one. I've got things that are, but I was never this person 10 years ago. But now I just have a higher quality. I've just chosen like one little thing at a time, okay? You can change those things. You can take ground. So in terms of supplementation, every single day I talk to you about taking supplementation that is targeted specifically for insulin resistance. I never recommend anything to you that isn't going to help your insulin resistance in some way, shape, or form, ever. Like, I don't do that. But isn't it interesting that most of what I talk about has to do with the gut and the liver? The gut and the liver, because you have got to get your body recalibrated so that it will actually deliver you a result. You are expecting your body that is sluggish, and maybe like it was saying, like Dr. Pompa's information, your cells are all gummed up. You're expecting those gummed up cells to actually produce a result for you. And you have to stop that mindset, because then you're mean to yourself. Then you're mean girl thinking you're just a loser. You knew you would never do it. You knew it would never work for you. You've tried to lose weight 24 times and you failed 28 times. Like, you're the, whatever. Like, I know somebody was on here yesterday and said, I don't even know what that means. That's weird. Like, some people think that, oh shoot, I had a thought process. TikTok was just notifying me of something weird. What was it? What was I going to say? So hold on. You're just really being mean to yourself, let's just say. I don't know. Yeah, TikTok is super sensitive because of last week, I think. It doesn't matter. I just have to be careful. And you're being hard on yourself and telling yourself that you are not able to make a difference this time in how you're moving forward. And that's just not true at all. And we see it over and over and over again. So when I talk about supplementation, I'm always talking about, like, number one, I want you guys to understand where I started and what made the biggest difference in my life. And so for me, because I didn't want to trade out my foods, I started with targeted supplementation. So these particular 3 products, I put them together. I call them the trio. This is where I started. They help to go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. And they helped me to lose my 3 sizes in my 50s. I can't speak more highly, because you're talking about liver, metabolism, insulin, and sugars all in one. It is literally a combo that is such a great foundation. And some people, they only want to start there, and that's perfect. That's like, these are like, and these are available in Canada. The other pieces are not. These are available in Canada though. And so these three right here, they're like right around 94. It's going to be different in Canada, right? But that is where I started. And you guys, that was a little over 10 years ago. And I'll tell you, like, I started without, oops, sorry, Instagram. I know that messed you up a little bit. I started with like no knowledge, you guys. Like I said, very undisciplined, no knowledge of anything in helping myself. The next thing that I'm going to share with you, though, is going to be I want to just get this all set up for you guys, is the actual gut reset protocol. Because as I go through this, you're going to be able to decide for yourself what it is that you are looking for to get the most help with. And everybody's going to be different. I always put my site right here for people on Facebook and YouTube. And that is actually where you can see just exactly what I'm talking about, because a confused mind does nothing, right? And when her MRI on her fatty liver went from bad to mild, people are going to want to know, like, well, what was she doing? You know, what was she taking? And because those results, I would never make claims, but I will share stories. That's what I do. Why does it say that on Instagram? I don't know why it's saying that. This is a very strange technology morning. Okay, so Kirsten Liebelt, my first last name, .com, KIRSTEN LIEBELT. So it looks like Liebelt, but it's Liebelt pronounced. But it looks like you lie down, right? And then .com. And when you go there, basically there is a product spotlight. And the first one that I just talked to you about is that first button right there. Okay. Now the second button is the liver reset. So basically what I've done is I've taken 6 products. I've taken 6 things. And this is how I put this together for me, right? And then I have brought this to you so that you can have as little confusion as possible. 6 things. So those 3 pills right there. The other 3 are actual powders. So 3 pills, 3 powders. Let's do a couple of different configurations, okay? So the next step is going to actually be then. So we got this one. This is the trio. What if we added a gut primer and we added a probiotic? Okay, and you're like, well, what's a gut primer? I get that question probably every single day. What's a gut primer? I don't even know. I know, right? I know you don't, because we're used to drinking a lot of greens products. Get your greens, throw them in your smoothies, la la la. That's not this. Yes, this has fermented greens in it, but we're talking about the supporting of healing and sealing your gastrointestinal tract. Okay, it's a daily GI primer. So think in terms of if you are leaking toxins into your bloodstream, and this is what was the whole conversation we just had, was about all the toxins, right? So now you have leaky gut. You've got like little holes poked into your gut from insulin resistance and from, you know, toxin buildup, whatever. Things are just leaking right out. You're not absorbing nutrients. They're just leaking right out. Well, when you're not absorbing nutrients, what happens? Like, you don't have energy. You don't feel good. You have a very inflamed, weakened gut lining. That's what we're talking about. And people already know that they have this issue, right? So what does that mean then, like, for you just as a normal person? Like, how does that change the way you're feeling? Well, somebody who is, and I just do one little scoop like this every day. I do one little scoop, green tea, turmeric-y, gingery. I have a friend who calls it Christmas in a cup. I don't think it tastes like Christmas in a cup. I think it tastes like green tea. So it doesn't excite me, you know, whatever, doesn't matter. I just put it in about this much water and I froth it up and I take it like a wellness shot, okay? So point being though, maybe you're somebody who's dealt with a lot of constipation. Listen, if you're not pooping daily, you have impacted waste that is just sitting there and toxins are building up. It's so crazy how everything that I talk about connects. Everything connects. Maybe you have indigestion. Indigestion isn't normal. Hey, Julie, good to see you. It's not normal. You're not supposed to have indigestion, right? Some people, you don't have a gallbladder. And so your liver, oh, and then your liver. needs to be loved on and helped. And the probiotic, these are 5 live strains. You just put them on your tongue every morning. Okay. And you want them to be able to actually do their job. It's most probiotics are, we think we do want good probiotic food. We do. You want to eat sauerkraut, kimchi, a good yogurt, whatever that has active live cultures. Like, yes, but most of the time it's just not enough, right? Because we have really done a number on the actual species that are in our gut. And then the last one is the visceral fat chaser. Like literally hunts down your visceral fat. And this is why this is that fatty liver conversation. Now, again, I'm not going to make claims, but I'm just going to tell you that if fatty liver is considered visceral fat, and this claims to chase visceral fat, then we may or may not have a match, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, she has an MRI that said her fatty liver went from bad to mild, like, right? Now, so what happened for her was she did the total body reset like this. She did this for an entire year. She did this, all 6, for an entire year, right? She's being mindful of, because she's also checking her sugars, because she's type 2, right? So when you're type 2, you need to check your sugars. Listen, please, before you scroll, like, just listen up. If you're type 2 and you get started on even just the trio, can I just tell you something really quick? I had somebody, this is important for your own way to navigate. Because this actually works, okay, this actually works. If you're type 2 and you're checking your sugars, I just had somebody yesterday say, can you give me a few tips because my sugars are dipping too low? Okay, she said, this obviously works. I go, yep. Really glad you're checking your sugars. Like, stay on top of it, okay? Be mindful of your own sugars because this will help. Now I'm going to say something else that I don't normally talk about. This particular one right here, the glucose product, I do have a friend who she was taking 2 of these when she would eat because she was more Mediterranean. And if you know what Mediterranean is, I teach grain, sugar, and legume free. But Mediterranean has grains and legumes in it. Okay, so she wanted to mitigate that. So she would take 2 of the glucose when she ate. Okay, so now that's not a bottle recommended. I'm just telling you what my friend did. And it was very, very beneficial for her. Okay, it really mitigated it well for her. So I just want you to know that that is something that somebody has done. Okay, let me just go right back to showing you exactly what I'm talking about. So if you need anything, reach out to me, get into my inbox, get into my messenger. If you need more testimonies, wow. So when you're on my site, which is kirstenliebelt.com, here's the trio. The second one is the liver reset stack. If you only need something for your liver to get started, because your liver is your most important thing for you right now, then the liver reset, that's going to be, let me eliminate, that's going to be these 3 things only. The gut primer, the little yellow tablet, and the orange pixie stick. Tastes like orange candy, okay? Visceral fat, liver, liver, liver. I love being able to, I love knowing, you guys, you might think I'm a total geek, and that's okay. I'm very passionate about the things that I talk about. I'm always so excited when somebody gets started because I know what it's doing to their insides that they may or may not ever find out what it did for their body. They may or may not ever understand like what was happening to their visceral fat, what was actually, because they may have never done a scan, they may have never had an MRI, they may have never been tracking that. There's no way for you or me to actually know the levels of toxicity in our body. Some people having metal testing. Some people get some people know that they have mold allergies, but the average person isn't running out and saying, okay, I want to know every level of every toxin in my body. Was it coming from my water because my water is city water and it's filled with prescription meds, or we don't know. We just know that there's a lot going on. We just know it. We know when we buy a new couch, it has, those forever chemicals on it because we don't want it to stain easy, or new carpeting, or it's everywhere. We drink out of plastic, we microwave in plastic. So most of us aren't. So I just get happy because I'm like, you know what? They don't even know how good their body, how happy their inner system is right now. So the trio is the first one. The second one is for your liver. The third one is actually just the primer and the probiotic, if that's what you want. And then the last one is the total body reset. So they're literally all right there at the top of the page. And do you want something free? If you want something free, right here. And this actually probably, I think I rearranged this. It looks a little different right now. It doesn't matter. These three things right here are free. Okay, a free protein blueprint, free egg white protein bread, and free sugar-free chocolate pudding recipe. Okay, so free resources, and then plus the product spotlights. But it depends on where you want to start. It depends on what you are looking to do. And I hope that if nothing else, you walk away. And today, if absolutely you do nothing else with me and you never see my content again, I hope that you walk away going, I am at least going to be mindful. Because that is very curious. Like if that concept is true, that Dr. Pompa is saying that diabetes is driven more than we've ever thought before by toxins because we have gummed up cells and we have a sluggish liver, then I should probably be a little mindful. Like maybe I'll get rid of that toxic body lotion. I'll go grab myself some glass Pyrex. I'll drink out of a stainless steel water bottle. Simple things that you don't even have to announce to the world that you're doing. You don't have to become some granola person to make shifts and go, I'm just going to think a little differently about a few things. You know, even as you're losing weight, it's like, will I have a sugar-free caramel syrup coffee? Yep, I will. Do I do it all the time? I don't. I just, that's where I kind of go, okay, I'm just not going to like indulge all the time in things that I just know aren't really great for me, but I'm also not going to eliminate things. And I know that there are a lot of people that think just like me, and maybe you think just like me. Maybe, I don't know, where you're kind of like, you know, listen, I don't need this to be my religion, but I need to have some results. I need this to move forward. I need to actually have some results when it comes to fat loss, med management, how many doctor's appointments I have, maybe somebody like Megda who is actually following an MRI for a year and paying attention. I mean, how well do you sleep at night when you know that your fatty liver went from bad to mild? How much better do you feel about your future and whether or not somebody's going to have to take care of you on a different level, or, you know, you want to be able to enjoy your grandbabies? Listen, my dad was dead at 63. 63, gone. My eccentric, funny Italian daddy. I mean, he was very eccentric. The whole neighborhood just laughed at him because he was a very funny man. Gone. My kids never knew him, right? So I want to be there for my grandbabies. I want to be the one that's living without the inflammation. I want to be the one that's like, I get up in the morning and I can walk and I can do all the things. I want to be that person. Okay. The best anti-aging thing that you will ever do for your face is what you do inside your gut and your liver. 100% what you are doing inside of your gut is showing up on your skin. I'm just telling you. Just telling you. So, all right, that's what we're chatting about today. I think I have to go and assess whether or not, I'm just going to have to delete some stuff because we had issues with sound and then freezing on Facebook and YouTube. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's okay. But if anybody does want to see like a replay, there's only going to be one place now today that's going to have the full replay. That is going to be from the sound and everything. And that's going to be on Insta. So again, I'm the same everywhere on my social media, Kirsten Liebelt. And if you need help, don't sabotage yourself. Don't do that today. Don't make this the day that you sabotage another time and you don't reach out, but you've been watching and you know that you want to get a little information. Listen, information is just knowledge. It's a good opportunity. There's never any pressure for anything because this has to be your journey. If you don't own your journey, nothing I say matters anyway. You have to own it. You have to be ready. And if you are ready, I'm ready. I'm ready for you. Okay. So have the best day ever on the face of the planet. And I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And be there or be square. And I'll chat with you soon. All right. Bye, you guys. Love you.